welcome to the Old Man Orange podcast. I'm Spencer Scott Holmes.
I am Cameron.
And RJ.
We are back again for more rambling fun. Actually, really tonight, we got a premarital death show coming on.
Yeah.
At the lovely time about fucking midnight.
Christ, dude.
Hasn't been brought up yet that you are now playing for us.
I know, I didn't tell anybody. I'm like a very secretive person. I like to really wait till like the last second to tell anybody anything. It's sort of like, this goes with many things in life. It's kind of like when you get this great opportunity coming up, you know, like, oh, I'm going down to fucking South America. It's going to be great. Me and Brazil, fuck all you guys. And the next thing you know, when you come back into work, you go, hey, what's going on with the Brazil thing? And you're like, it didn't pan through. You never want to like announce things early. I feel like you just end up screwing yourself over. You save it.
Yep.
You savor that.
Well, is now an appropriate time to talk about it?
Well, I guess. I just kind of let the cat out of the bag. But I thought, because this thing's going to air afterwards, so. It was funny because I put it up on Twitter. I was like, oh, we got a show tonight. I'm just going to throw this fucking out there. And the guy's like, dude, I would come, but I'm in Atlanta, Georgia.
It's awesome you got followers that far, though.
Well, I know on Twitter, you just get followers, like.
From everywhere.
Yeah, like very few people are probably from, like, Northern California area.
Yeah.
90% of them are all from, like, anywhere from, like, the East Coast to Canada, Europe, and Japan, and everything in between.
Yep.
So, like, on this podcast at one point, I got, like, a ton of downloads from Africa at some point. It was so weird. I don't know how to explain it. All I know is that I just assumed that there's this office place somewhere in Africa where at the end of the work week, they're going like, okay, everybody's going to pick this one podcast, we're all going to download it, we're going to listen to it, come back and say what we think about it. There was 300 downloads in one day, and then another, like, 500, like, in a couple days later. It was so weird.
Wow. What part of Africa?
Oh, man, I'm drawing a blank. It's been a couple of months.
Well, regardless.
Regardless,
awesome.
It was like Middle Africa. That's all I could think of.
I know. We, our SoundCloud account takes into perspective of the countries that are playing your songs per plays, you know, and then it rounds it out to where it gives you, like, your top 5 countries that are, you know, giving your plays. Right now, the last time I checked was actually a couple of weeks ago, but right now we were sitting at United States being number 1, Canada being number 2, UK being number 3, and then it's a close, like, Germany, Australia being 4th and 5th, and they keep flopping back and forth.
Perfect.
At one point we had Norway. Was it Norway?
Yeah. We're hitting all the right regions, dude.
Yeah. So, and it's cool, man, because it takes, like, all of your plays, and it shows you, like, how many plays are played per country and all that, you know. And, like, granted, a lot of those, like, you know, Australia and Germany and all that have, like, you know, upwards of, like, 50 to, like, 100 plays or so. But still, it's just, like, your music is actually spreading, you know, and that's a hell of a feeling.
I remember the first time, like, when YouTube put out the statistics thing out there and whatnot, you could look up, like, where your videos are being watched at. And I was just so amazed. I was like, oh my fucking god, Drunk Batman is seen in Kazakhstan. I searched for, I was like there for like a fucking hour looking at all this stuff, like, oh my god, look at somebody over here. Like, you know, you just pick these random ass little countries. You're like, somebody saw my fucking video there.
Yep.
Like, do they just all pull in a television set, fucking hook it up to the internet and, like, sit around and watch?
What amazes me is that
they picked my stuff out of everything else.
The guys on YouTube that literally sit there in front of a camera and talk for 15
I just
20
can't figure that
minutes.
out. That to me just seems...
How do they have, like, you know, a couple 100,000
And they're always the most
subscribers?
famous people. They always are.
How? It doesn't make sense.
It's weird because I guess to me, I come from a place where I'm like, if you're going to sit down and make a video now you're going to put some production value in, at least do something, like... And those are the ones where it's just like, it takes no skill whatsoever.
Yeah.
You turn on your fucking, like, you know, webcam and you just start talking.
Yeah.
And it's just one of those ones, to me it just seems too lazy. I just can't.
Dude, you know what gets me is the fucking, I go up, like, after a UFC fight or something, I try to go on YouTube and watch it, like, as quick as possible, dude, because, like, they get taken down real quick.
Uh-huh.
Dude, there's these guys, dude, they sit on YouTube, dude, and they sit there and they explain what happened.
It's just like this big fat guy, like, okay, you'll see on the UFC match here, we have Rodrigo.
I know, dude.
You're like, oh,
They
the
sit
guy's
there-
like, he's like taking this big cheeseburger, just dripping on his face, oh.
They sit there and they tell you how the fight goes down, dude, and they've got, like, 2,000-3,000 views. I'm like, what in the fuck?
Well, the only thing, you know, probably happens, though, like, I always think about those ones, too. Somebody's like, oh, this is a fucking match. And they're like, oh, just another fat guy fucking talking to the camera. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, there's a lot of...
That's
different
probably what
reasons
happens.
like
So
that.
they keep getting all these clicks on there, and that's how they're getting their views.
Mm-hmm. I don't know, man. I don't know. I guess a lot of it has to do with advertisement too. I mean, if you pay enough into advertising, you're gonna be put on the suggested posts, you know.
Well, yeah, because that's one thing.
right-hand
That's
side
how a
of
lot of those things work. And I even tried one of those advertising things once with like my last band. We're like, we have all this fucking money from Kickstarter. Let's like spend it on something.
Yeah.
So we tried like we'll put $25 down. Let's see what that gets us. And we got like a bunch of like these random people. It was on Reverb Nation from like other countries, but just it felt like. If I would have just put $25 worth of work in myself in advertising, I probably could have got just as much.
Yeah.
Reverb Nation. Dude, that's an account we need to get.
Yeah, you should have that one. That one works pretty well. I'm fucking still number one.
Because
it hasn't played in a long
I'm trying to
time.
do it from my phone and stuff, dude, but I can't like sign up from my phone.
You gotta have you gotta do it on a computer.
Yeah, so I mean, if you can look into it or something like that.
Well, dude, I'm gonna be
fucking
getting myself
awesome.
an office pretty soon, so I can do all kinds of computer stuff.
It's a good way
Cool.
to spread our
Cool.
music and stuff. So
I can sit there fucking.
I mean, I started the Tumblr account for Premarital Death, and
I've never used
I
Tumblr
just
yet.
Exactly. Like,
But
I
I'll say this
know
though.
exactly how it works.
You can only pick so many accounts because there does come a point where you just can't maintain that many of them.
well, between me and Cameron, we try to maintain.
Because I had like there's a point where I had fucking like 12 sites. I literally had a lot of accounts to maintain. Then I just got a point just like fuck, I can't maintain this many of them. Plus like email addresses and all that stuff.
We're doing like 4 pretty much, I think.
Well, we have Facebook,
Tumblr,
Facebook,
Twitter.
yeah, Twitter,
And
and
SoundCloud.
SoundCloud. And
I would
do
max it
all-
out at like Reverb Nation.
And then,
Yeah.
you know,
Well, do you have a
Reddit
YouTube
and stuff
page
like that too?
for
but-
Premarital Death?
Yeah.
Okay. Couldn't remember if there was that on there.
Yeah, I really the next one that I want to do is just we gotta set up PayPal is Bandcamp, you know, and actually be able to start digitally distributing, you know, our music and all that. So
You know, now I don't know if you've looked up these ones, but I've looked up a bunch of these. There's the one called CD Baby. I think that's what it's called.
Yep.
That
I
one's
heard all
pretty
about that.
good.
Yeah, Jordan told us about that.
Mhm.
That's the one. You know, that one. When did you ever listen to Starbomb?
No.
I gotta fucking show you that after we're done. It's fucking amazing. But like when their album came out, like, cause they had this fucking music video came out, and it's banned by like Ego Raptor. Do you know who that guy is? The animation guy. He does things
I've
like
heard the
Metal Gear
name.
Awesome. Have you ever seen Metal Gear Awesome?
Yeah.
Okay, that's that guy.
Oh, okay.
That guy, he does like the rapping vocals, and then Ninja Sex Party does like sort of the music to it, and then like the singing vocals, and it's all video game music, but just like it's funny and it's comedy and it's kind of like rap and it's angry and a lot of like fucking like
Okay.
jokes in it. But whatever, the second that thing, he had a music video came on one day and I was like, oh my fucking god, this is fucking amazing. And then I realized like, oh, there's a fucking album with it. I clicked on it like 6 in the fucking morning and I was looking like, it was the only place to buy. I'm like, I'll buy it off CD Baby. I read a bunch of shit on there. That was the site I was going to use.
Yeah. Well, the problem that I've noticed a lot with doing things such as CD Baby, I mean, I know that they'll digitally distribute your material. It's going hard copy. Because literally, like, to get any kind of deal for hard copy discs is like you have to buy 500 discs, you know.
Well,
at
on
$1
CD
piece.
Baby, though, you could just have it where, like, you're supposed to send them in, like, all your stuff. So you're like, here's my fucking booklet and my... You're supposed to make one kind of official one that you'd probably spend $30 making.
Right.
But then you would send that in, and then you don't have to pay for anything else from there, because then they just start making copies of it.
And they just take
And then they send it out. So, like, you know, somebody in Georgia goes like, oh, I'm fucking buying a Premarital Death CD. Like, $10 and it ships it out, and they keep, you know, $6 or something like that, and you get 4. I want to say that's how it works.
Yeah.
Give or take.
I don't know how much Bandcamp if they take out anything.
They do. I want to say it's... God, what
Well,
was
CD
it?
Baby's
It was
only 10% though for download ones. So it's like, and the thing to do is just fucking make them as cheap as possible. If fucking Soundgarden can release an album for $3.99, just go like, fuck that, I'll top that off.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I mean, it's the same thing for, like, merchandise in general. I mean, you try to buy t-shirts, wristbands, hats, whatever, you know, even decals are just so expensive.
And I think the thing to do though is just there's so many of these great sites where you don't put any money in, you just put the creativity in.
Yeah.
Like, have you ever used Cafe Press?
Mm-mm.
Like, Cafe Press that was the first one I was ever turned on to. Like, when I was living in San Francisco, this one guy told me about it from Utah. And I was like, this is the fucking most amazing thing ever. Are you seriously telling me I could just go out and make all these Photoshop designs for t-shirts and stuff and put them on here and people can fucking buy them and I don't spend a single dime?
Yep.
So, I mean, and obviously they're making the most amount of money out there, but I look at it this way. They're doing all the fucking work. All I'm doing is making the design.
Yeah.
Well, we should give fucking some, you know, make some stickers and some hats and some t-shirts and all that stuff. You put them up there and just charge like $1 more than like whatever they're going to do it. Because here it's like 12 or 15 or $16, give or take on the t-shirt.
Yeah.
And you're not making tons of profit, but at least
It's something. Man.
yeah, because you don't want to charge like $20. People go, like, I don't want to fucking pay $20.
See, what I like about the Bandcamp too is you can put merch up there. You can put your music up there.
Yep.
You can put everything up there. And like a lot of like
Now in
deathcore-
Reverb Nation, you can do it kind of all in one.
and a lot of deathcore bands do like Bandcamp and shit nowadays. So that also turns me on to it because they all are very trusting of this. So
Yeah.
Well, that's
especially bands that are in our position do it all the time.
Well, I remember when I was looking for a podcast hosting site, and I was just like, and I was looking, one of the shows I really liked is Continue Cast. And I was like, oh, they do Podomatic? Well, fuck it, I'll do Podomatic too.
Yeah. Yeah.
That sold it to me. As long as there's somebody I know on there, then that's all that matters.
Yeah. I think like one of the hardest thing about being in a band is maintaining and getting good equipment. And like that's where we need to kind of sit down and start thinking about how we can start making money like that, because I know that we need
Well, the
better
key thing is,
equipment,
like, how can you
know?
make money off this?
Yeah.
It's like, then in the future, it's just like, I want to do something creative. You just got to find that way to make the money off of it. And really, the thing, too, is just to put... I always think the thing... And it's this problem I've always had not having, like, direct internet in my house or never having a good connection. Is you can't just sit there all day long and just kind of advertise and do all the work you need to get done so that when you do have internet, you get a little bit done, but you're not getting enough.
Yeah, exactly.
But I always thought, you just make a bunch of T-shirts. You put them all up there, put all your designs out, and then you just kind of go off and share it. You go to Twitter and share it on Facebook, share it on other sites, put it on blogs and what have you.
Honestly, it all depends how we want to get our t-shirts.
Yeah, there's a lot of different sites. There's a lot of different businesses out there that'll do it, but
I mean, yeah.
Cafe Press is one I really like, and they've been doing it longer than most people.
yeah.
And as I said, it doesn't cost that's the key thing I always look for. It doesn't cost a dime. Well, there we go.
Yeah.
I know in Reverb Nation it was a little bit cheaper to do the T-shirts too, and the same thing too. It doesn't cost anything.
Well, I mean, that's why we just got to keep playing more shows and, getting promoters out there that'll actually start paying us a little bit, and like, I'm not looking to make billions of dollars off this band whatsoever. I just want to have enough to where we can make it to our shows, we can buy lunch, and we can get equipment that will actually suffice for us in the state that we're at right now,
There we go.
And like, that's all you really need as a band, because, like, I love playing this music literally for the love of music. Like, it's fun to me.
See, now I will say this. I've been this kind of person my entire life. Like, in the last band I did, like, the whole thing was like, let's write fucking songs people are going to really like. You know what I mean? Like, that's what we'll do. Write songs that sell.
Yeah.
And it worked out real well for a while,
Yeah.
And even with other things, it's like, I don't need to make $1 billion. I just want to make enough money that the only thing I have to do is my creative project. If I can just do animation and podcast and play music and do videos, I'll be fucking set.
Yeah.
That's all I want to do.
Yeah. Yep, just scrape by, man.
And if Amazon would pay me more than a couple dollars at a crack, I would be much more happier with my fucking advertisement.
So how do you do your Amazon? What do you use?
Amazon's great because other sites, eBay, even though I'm a fucking power seller and you turned me down on fucking eBay for like advertising.
Yeah.
But like on their affiliate program, I just there's an ad on Podomatic I have up there, and there's like one ad I think on my website. So if people come by the website, all they gotta do is they click on the Amazon thing, like I'm gonna go buy some shoes or I'm gonna go buy a new video game. Go through the oldmanorange.com page, click on the Amazon link, and then when they're in there, they buy their shoes, they buy their games, they buy their movies and whatnot, and then I get a little kickback from that. Doesn't cost the people anything, but it's my way of advertising for Amazon.
Right.
I also got a GameStop one on there too.
Oh, okay.
Same thing too, except for the fact that Amazon always talks so much praise for GameStop, it gets a bunch
Now,
of
is
fucking
it-
people at GameStop.
Do they just have to click the link and then you get paid, or do they have to purchase something off the website?
I still will, by just clicking the link or even just kind of looking at the link, I'll still get like pennies, or point pennies,
Right.
like 0.0001 penny.
Right.
But if they actually do click it and go to buy stuff, that's where you get the real money.
Okay.
And that's how a lot of those ones kind of work too.
Yeah.
They mostly have to physically buy stuff. They'll give you like a penny just for somebody looking at it, or a couple pennies for them clicking on it.
Right.
But where the real money starts rolling in is when they actually go and physically buy something.
Right. Well, that's not a bad deal. I mean, like.
No, it's something like, it's not a bad thing to get hooked up with those affiliation programs.
Yeah.
I got this other one too. Trying to blank on what the site's called, but it just gives you like a humongous list of tons of different things you can get. And that's where the GameStop one came from. And I found other ones on there. First, I had like 6 or 7 different ones. And I was just like, I'm just going to sum it up just to Amazon and GameStop, and that's
Right.
it. I got like the fucking Sierra Club down there just because I like that one.
Right.
But like, I don't know if I would make a single dime off that one. But you know, I was looking at all kinds of different stuff. I mean, everything. There was one site that I liked by, it's called Vitacost.
Mm-hmm.
I get all my protein powders and supplements and whatnot from there. But they fucking didn't accept it. They're like, we don't think your website has anything that will help us sell it. They probably went on there and just drunk back music. Yeah. I think that many a times, like when I go to apply for stuff, I really wonder what they go. Okay, Spencer Holmes. Type in Spencer Holmes. Okay, what's the first thing that comes up on here? Okay, drunk Batman. Let me click on this. And then they just get something to do. Like, yeah, fuck you too. Just like, well, I don't know if I want to hire this guy now.
Yeah. God, man, I don't know.
Dude, that or like a podcast comes up and it'd be like one of those ones where like, have you ever seen the movie Robot and Frank?
No.
Like, I went on this rant on one of them because I was telling this to Dunning and I was just like, it's one of the movies like, it's a very charming and like war movie about this old man who gets this fucking robot. And at first he's like, oh, I don't want this fucking robot here. I don't want him taking care of me. But over time, you know, he becomes like buddies. And then fucking Steven Tyler's daughter is like, comes in and she's like his daughter. And she's like, you can't have this fucking robot here with like fucking dad. You know, he needs a real human there. And he's like, oh, I love this robot. You know, me and him, we had a gay sex in like the room last night. Nah, it goes like that far, but it's actually a really sweet movie. But it's just like, I went off on this rant. Like, I always think about that one. Like, somebody came in there and just one of those episodes, just like, fuck this, fuck that, and like he was fucking the robot and all this stuff.
Jesus Christ.
I was listening to I think it was Education. And it was literally like in the first 10 minutes, it was just all this like dick jokes and fuck jokes and stuff. I'm like, if you were like kind of like a kid, or if you just showed this to like your parents, like, well, here's what a podcast is all about, and that was the episode that you chose, not knowing. It's like they'd be like, fuck are you listening to?
Yeah, no. That's the way I feel about Rooster Teeth podcast because I go back and I listen to a lot of their old stuff. And like, there's some podcasts where you click in, and I can imagine like a first time listener going back and listening to that specific podcast and going like, "What the fuck?" You know, like, what the fuck are they talking about?
Me and Dunning have talked about this before. There's kind of like that make or break thing that like you always kind of think about it when you're on a podcast, like almost like you gotta slightly be careful of what you say.
Yeah.
Because Dunning was telling me he's just like, I was just randomly checking out podcasts, you know, and sometimes it's just kind of fun to see what other people are doing. And he was listening to one, and he's like, the guys went in, they just went like, I don't see what's the big point of Blade Runner. Why is that such a cool movie? It was just okay. It was just like, he's like, you know, the rest of the episodes might have been good, but just that one comment, that was fucking it. You know, if you can't appreciate Blade Runner, then what the fuck's wrong with you? Yeah. And I always be like that too, like when you go up and you're like, I fucking hate this movie. And we did this one podcast where we're like, fuck Wreck-It Ralph. That was the biggest fucking like steal of my life.
I heard that Adam Sandler's making some kind of new
I heard about that one too.
Something like that. I don't know anything about it so far.
I saw the trailer for it, but I could be wrong.
Really?
Sometimes I see trailers and I totally forget I see them.
How far down has Adam Sandler come in his career? Like, I haven't seen anything out of him since late 90s, maybe.
Well, me and RJ were kids.
Do anything.
Well, when me and RJ were kids, that's when there was all like the fucking great like Adam Sandler movies.
Click was probably early 2000s.
That was like, I always think that's kind of like his last really good movie was Click.
I didn't.
And Click's a very iffy one. Some people they just don't care for it.
Good.
I liked it a lot.
Plus,
I thought it was too good.
It is sad.
It's so sad. It's just like a midlife crisis movie, dude.
Well, that's what I like about it. Like, at first it starts off and you're like, oh, it's just kind of another Adam Sandler comedy. But then it kind of builds into this really dark drama. And it's just
180, dude, at the end of that movie. I don't know.
I liked it, but...
Plus, you know, like, Grandma's Boy was Happy Madison Productions.
Yeah.
So it's like...
Yeah.
Well, that movie
still
was great.
Doing shit, so...
That was a movie... I always think about that day because...
Think about how much money that
It was me, RJ, Pat, probably Jesse, and a couple other friends from high school were like, we're gonna go fucking see Hostel. It comes out today. Fucking Eli Roth. Even though it was probably before like the Eli Roth thing.
Yeah.
And we're going there, well, because I saw Cabin Fever.
Yeah.
You know. And we go there and it's like, fucking Sonora's not playing Hostel. Fuck. And I was like, well, that Grandma's Boy movie looks interesting. When we went and saw that, and
it was one of the most
I was so glad we did. It was like, even though, don't get me wrong, I loved Hostel.
Dude, I love Hostel. Dude.
Hostel's such a fucking good movie,
dude.
I have a really funny story about Hostel.
Does it involve you being in a hostel?
No. It was me. Being,
I don't know, but after seeing that movie, I'm definitely not going to fucking Hostel.
So I'm maybe mid-teens at the time that movie came out on DVD, and I'm over at one of my buddy's house, and it's his birthday, and we're eating this green cake. I'll never fucking forget this. So we're eating this green cake and we're watching this goddamn movie, and as the movie gets progressively worse and worse and worse, you know, like more and more gory, more and more graphic, it's just I feel my stomach turning. And I'm the type of person that doesn't have a strong stomach to begin with. All I remember is that scene where the guy's sitting in the damn chair and the guy like bends down and you can hear him just like you hear cutting noises, remember? And the guy stands up and his Achilles tendons just peel apart and he falls forward and he hits the ground and he's screaming, and that got to me really bad. I'm just like, I gotta power through this, so I keep watching. And it gets all the way to the scene with the guy with the chick and the blowtorch, and he's fucking cutting out her eye with the blowtorch. And just the scene where he cuts the eyeball off and all the juices come down, dude, I ran outside and I just puked. Just green,
like
cake
Hulk
and
shit coming out.
Dude, it was the worst.
Did you see the third one?
No, because it wasn't directed by Eli Roth, so I didn't have as much.
Exactly, dude. I was like, no, fuck that, dude. I want to
I
watch
love-
it, but I can't bring myself to.
It's one of those ones like, and Eli Roth, he hasn't made a movie since the second one. It's been that
I
fucking
didn't like
long.
the second one, dude.
Dude, I really like the second one. I thought it was pretty good.
Did you see Cabin Fever though?
Yeah.
That that movie's just pure amazing.
Yeah.
I
Dude,
love
I
that
love
one
Cabin
so
Fever,
much.
dude.
But it's like Eli Roth, he's such a great director, and he hasn't done anything. I mean, yeah, he was in Tarantino films. He was in
That's what I was gonna
Death
say.
Row,
Inglourious
Inglourious Bastards, but that was the last couple things.
Yeah. I haven't heard from him in a while.
But speaking of eating, I remember me and Cisco, we were watching Faces of Death. Now, have you ever seen that thing?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And that's just that great 80s show, a bunch of like real killings and whatnot. I'm not too sure if all of them are real, but like a good majority of them are. Some of them I always kind of question. But like we're just sitting there, we're fucking eating like a pizza and stuff. And they're just like fucking eating monkey brains on TV, and people are all caught and getting like tortured.
Oh my god, dude.
Like I'm like that kind of person. Like when I watch a zombie movie, I start getting fucking hungry. I'm like, dude, I want something to eat too. Like, all these guys are eating on TV. There's a couple movies out there that make me really hungry. One, The Terminal. Tom Hanks is fucking eating all the time. And then you take any zombie movie, I'm starving. I'm like, gee, what do you got in your fridge right now? Come on.
Oh, Faces of Death, man.
That's just an amazing fucking show. Not everybody knows about Faces of Death too. It's
I
kind of like
got some on VHS.
Yeah.
it's just such a badass one.
It's the cultist shit in that movie that gets to me. Like,
Because each day, I like, because you have the cool one too where the animals like fucking killing people, and then like one where it's just like weird shit, kind of like where they're just like, oh, we go over here, we're gonna eat monkey brains, then we're gonna go do this, and then there's the cultist one where they have like the exorcism, and I can't remember what the fucking fourth disc was. I remember because like Cisco's dad, he bought like the fucking 4-disc pack of it on DVD. We just went there, we're just like marathon this shit.
Yep. I think that was the start. We were talking about the other day how the internet has desensitized a lot of people to seeing gory things like that.
That's
like
true. Because
real life
nowadays,
stuff.
like if you show that to a kid now, they'd be like, so what?
Yeah, beating them. That's the one scene that sticks out to me is where they have that monkey in that table,
feels so bad for
and
that
they're
monkey,
just
too.
beating the shit.
It's
out
just
of
these
the
like
kid.
really rich people, like, yeah, I'm just doing this on weekends.
And they're screaming, dude.
It's that poor
Jesus.
fucking monkey just stuck to a fucking table, and people are so calm. It's like,
Yeah.
Oh, I like my monkey burgers. Quite chill.
And how much do you think they paid for that?
Oh, yeah, I know.
Hundreds of dollars, man. Like,
Well, probably if you go fucking over to, like Thailand or something, probably wasn't that expensive,
Yeah.
Probably the plane ticket alone was more expensive than this monkey brains.
it amazes me, especially a lot of older movies. How it amazes me how animal cruelty is just not a thing.
Have you ever seen the movie Cannibal Holocaust? I think I asked RJ this a couple days ago.
No.
There was a movie made in about like 1982, and it's an Italian film. And what it is, it's like there's these hippie people that are going to South America to film these pygmy tribes and whatnot and make a documentary of it, blah, 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 and then, take it back to show people this. And as they kind of go through this thing, at first you're like, oh, these pygmies are like cannibals, they eat humans, they do all this like barbaric stuff. And in this movie, like, as the movie progresses, they kill these actual animals in it. And you feel so bad for it. I mean, they take this fucking turtle, they pull it out, and they're like ripping its fucking shell off and just showing everything, and they're cutting it up.
Jesus.
And then like the town's like, oh, well, we were just eating it. The crew just ate it all. It's no different than going, I don't know, I sound like Canadian, but it's no different than going fucking hunting. And there's a part too where there's a fucking like tarantula, and they just take it down, they like fucking machete it down. And I feel bad for this. There's a pig that's like tied up, and the guy fucking kicks it and then shoots it. Like, it's all on camera.
Yeah.
But the thing is, by seeing these real deaths, as it goes on farther, then they start doing like things where there's chicks, like this pygmy chick's having like this abortion thing, and they're like ripping her out of her fucking like vagina and stuff. And there's another part too where like there's a pole that's impaled through this chick, like through like her ass all the way up and out her mouth.
Wow.
And when this movie came out, like, the first thing the Italian film did, they're like, the fuck is this? You guys brought a snuff film in here?
Yeah.
And even Sergio Leone of, like, Good, Bad, and the Ugly, he told him, he was like, he told the director, he's like, "You're gonna get in a lot of trouble for this.
Yeah,
Dude, you're just gonna see shit."
They put the director on trial until they could find the actors.
Exactly, because they didn't think these people were actually alive.
Yeah, they were like they arrested them and shit because they thought he actually killed them.
Wow.
But the whole point, the movie has this nice like message though, where it turns around that these hippie people are the fucking messed up fuckers that go down here and torture these pygmy people just to, and they, they cut the footage because, but they just have all this, film of them like fucking raping them and like beating them and stabbing them. They put them all in like this fucking hut and light it on fire and film it. And the sad thing too is they said that like these people down there are actually, the Italian people kind of did leave them in like that hut for too long. These people have no idea what the fuck's going on. They're filming this movie and stuff.
Probably
but it's one thing.
It's at that point.
It's so worth checking this movie out. It's kind of one of those ones. It's like a one-watch movie. I can't imagine really watching it like twice and be like, I fucking love this.
Yeah.
But it's such like as a film history goes, it's one of those ones just like you should just see it just to see it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, it's still banned in like 21 countries.
There's a lot.
Even though it's never banned in
films
the U.S.
like
for
that.
shit.
Yeah. Yeah. The one that always stands out to me, and it's a fucking kids movie out of all things. You remember that old movie called Milo Notice?
Yep.
Where the cat and dog.
I used to watch it all the time.
I have it on DVD.
The goddamn part, and it has to be a real cat. There's no way that it's not a real cat. Where they remember when the cat's up on the cliffside with the seagulls and it's trying to get the eggs, and somebody must have just chucked a cat off the cliff into the ocean, like, because you see that thing sprawling and like moving its arms around. It's like, how do you get away with that?
Well, then they film him and the cat's in the ocean swimming away,
Yeah,
so it doesn't matter, but whatever.
By the magic of movie making, you think it's all alright.
Who thought that was a good idea, though? Like, let's chuck a cat
Chuck
off
the
the cliff.
fucking cat in the fucking ocean. It's fucking waves and windy and shit.
You want to know what's a real sad one? Is, you ever seen The Never Ending Story?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. You know the part where like the horse is in the mud and Atreyu's trying to get him out and stuff? He's like, "Yo, come out.
Yeah.
That horse actually got stuck in that mud and ended up drowning in it and actually
Really?
dying. And that's why, like, when he's fucking crying, that kid was just really fucking sad.
Really?
And Wolfgang Pearson was like, fucking film that kid. Film it. That's real. We lost a fucking horse. We're not going to lose the scene.
Has the kid that played Atreyu been in any other movies since then?
I don't know, because I think he was replacing the second one.
I think he was, too. I haven't seen that guy in fucking forever. And actually seeing, like, the kids from the Goonies and stuff nowadays look nothing like they did as kids, man. Like,
Yeah, no, a lot of those guys kind of changed.
Yeah. Chunk, there was an article that I read that was a hoax that Chunk had died. Like, it said the actual guy actually died or whatever, and so many people were so sad about it, and just like, I can't believe this is actually happening, and blah, blah, blah. And then he, like, posts up, he's just like, I'm still alive. Like, the internet's fucking hilarious, dude. People will believe anything that they see.
Well, all you gotta do is write one thing and set it up, and then somebody fucking goes, really? And fucking retweets it, and the next thing you know, it goes. And
it's Facebook that really gets to a lot of people, because that's a good majority of a lot of people will actually see that shit, and then that spreads from one person to the next, and everything's being shared.
I mean, like, because first, like, because the sad thing is, I think it was 2 weeks ago, like, when I heard that Bob Hoskins died, I was like, oh.
Yeah.
And my first thing I do is I fucking go over to the internet, look it up, find an actual article, because I'm not just gonna go fucking retweet that.
Yeah.
And then I was like, that fucking sucks. Like, I'm like, we already lost King Koopa. Dennis Hopper died a while back. Now we lost Mario.
Yep. Yeah.
I was so bummed.
All these guys are getting older, man.
See that meme I posted on the Facebook today?
I don't think so.
Oh. I took a picture of Jim Carrey from the mosh pit in Cannibal Corpse and Ace Ventura Pet Detective, dude. Of him, like, doing his dance. He's like walking through it, dude.
Remember that being one of the coolest things when I was a kid? I was like, dude, fucking Jim Carrey likes Cannibal Corpse.
Dude, that was totally Jim Carrey in the mosh pit, dude. If I ever saw Jim Carrey in a mosh pit, that's what I would expect him to do, dude.
Well, Kyle has like this Cannibal Corpse like super huge documentary thing or whatever, and Jim Carrey's like the biggest Cannibal Corpse fan. He's like, I asked for him to be in that movie.
I know, dude.
That's so sweet.
You've seen like the extended scene and stuff, like of him in the club and shit like that?
No,
dude?
I've never seen the extended
He like
scene.
gets on stage and shit like that, dude, and takes his shirts off and shit, dude. It's hella fucking
That's
bad.
bad.
I know, dude.
There was one of those late night shows.
And that's like
that
full Cannibal Corpse.
I think I showed you. There's like a late night show. I can't remember who the host was, but it was Jim Carrey talking about napalm death and just like making fun of that style of genre, dude. It's so hilarious. But that's an old video too, man. You can tell that's like probably mid '90s or so when he made that, dude. It's so funny.
Did you ever see Kick-Ass 2?
Mm-hmm.
The movie itself was it was just like the first one. It was kind of like there was things I really like and things that make me so angry. But
Yeah.
Jim Carrey stole the show in that fucking. Like,
Yeah.
I wish he was in it longer, but he was amazing in that. Talk about a comeback, if anything.
Actually, like, I mean, now that we're been talking about movies, I haven't really seen a movie in a long time that's really been like, holy shit. I mean, other than last year's The Hobbit, like.
Did you see Wolf of Wall Street?
No, and I've heard a lot of good things about that
movie. That movie, like, I've never laughed. It's a 3-hour long comedy, and it's funny the whole way through. It is one of the best movies I can fucking think
Who's
of.
the lead
4 out of 4.
Who's the
Leo?
Leo DiCaprio? Yeah, that's what
It's got Leo in it. It's got Jonah Hill.
Evil
It's got
Dead,
fucking
dude.
head rush.
I fucking love.
And this chair's all
the new
tilty.
Evil Dead, dude.
I didn't see that.
No,
one.
the remake one. I didn't see it either. The one reason I didn't see it, though, it sounds like a weird thing, is I just didn't like what's the chick that made Juno?
Oh yeah.
Even though
Ellen.
Ellen, no, not the chick that's in Juno, the chick that Dablo Cody, and
Oh,
she was a part of it,
okay.
and I was like, oh, why does she have to be in that?
Dude, the new Godzilla, dude. I am so fucking stoked for the new
Did you-
Godzilla.
It's
It's
sweet.
unfucking believable.
Did you guys
dude.
hear about the new Godzilla? Japanese people are pissed off about that movie coming out because they're calling Godzilla fat. They're like, the Americans took that movie and they made Godzilla fat. And if you actually look at the movie posters and stuff, Godzilla does look hella fat. And like, they're
He's
mad
bigger. He's
about
got.
it.
They also think he's got the sumo fucking like underwear on too. They're like,
I thought he looked great, dude. It looks like a fucking dinosaur.
it
coming
looks
out of
pretty
the
sweet. I
fucking
mean, like I
ocean.
will say, because I'm most people, it's like the only like slight complaint, and this is just like pre-trailer complaint, is it does have that sort of thing to it that like I know it's just gonna be Godzilla and he's just gonna be terrorizing and he's sort of be the villain of the movie. Because I kind of like the Godzilla movies where Godzilla's the fucking good guy and he's battling King Ghidorah or Mechagodzilla.
I like it when he's both, but dude, in one
It
of the
still looks badass.
in
I
one
don't
of the
care.
trailers, dude, it looks like almost like Rodans flying through the fucking city, dude.
I
If they
think
put
that's what's
It
gonna
almost
happen.
looks like
If
that.
they put
he,
Rodan
he
in there,
does.
I'll be
He
fucking
does. He does
amazed.
have like a battle with like another.
Badass.
Yeah,
Then I'm
so-
there. Well, did you see Pacific Rim? That was pretty sweet, fucking like Godzilla-like movie.
Well, how are they going to top that? That's what I'm wondering, because in the new trailer or whatever, it's just like RJ just said, you see something else in there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's like.
I
flying and
would
shit.
not doubt if they bring in other giant monsters like that.
Dude,
you
why
know,
wouldn't they
like-
do? I want to see fucking Mothra.
Yeah.
Well, because really, because here's the
I
thing.
want fucking Ghidorah,
You
dude.
guys didn't see Pacific Rim though, right?
I did. I can't say I was too impressed with it. The acting was a little but the visuals were awesome.
Like
dude.
I love Pacific Rim. It's like I know because I know that movie kind of had like a mixed toss up. People either
Yeah.
kind of liked it or they didn't, think it was amazing maybe. But like I loved it. I was like, dude, this fucking Gundam Wing meets fucking Godzilla.
Yep.
Perfect. I like it. you don't get enough of that shit. I mean, you get a lot of it in anime, but you don't get enough of it in live action.
Yeah. I don't know, man. There's a bunch of like, have you heard of Xbox just signed? I want to say Showtime, I believe, for their new Halo series. Did you ever?
It's not gonna be like that because there was that live action Halo thing that came out that was like, I was like
loved it, dude.
the Kid Academy one. I was like, what the fuck is Master Chief in this? And all
Yeah. Well, he ends up showing up.
Yeah,
Eventually
like,
towards the end.
I remember he did because I watched that. And I was like,
But for a
yeah.
web series, that was fucking awesome. Like,
I guess.
the amount of production that they put into that was fucking awesome.
I guess maybe I was expecting more. And,
Yeah.
and it's like one of those ones like because the one was pretty good. I like the animated one. It was like the 6-parter
Yeah,
one. That was a
yeah.
good one.
Yeah.
A couple of them are just like okay. That's mostly always how those 6-part things are.
Yeah.
There's always like some that are just amazing, and then some that are just like yeah.
Yeah.
But I still overall I like that one a lot.
Uh,
Did you ever see the Mortal Kombat ones though that were the web series? I'll have to let you fucking borrow it, RJ. You'll love it. They did such a good job. There's like these little like anywhere between 6 to 12-minute bits, and they just kind of focus on certain characters. Like there's one that's like a Raiden one, and one that's a Sonya one, and one that's Sub-Zero, and one that's like Scorpion. And I got like the first section of them on Blu-ray.
Sweet.
Really?
They're badass too, yeah.
okay.
And they're pretty much the guy is like a huge fan and whatnot. They produced by like I think he did 1 or 2 of them, and then next thing you know, Warner Brothers picked it up and said, "Fuck it, we'll just do it for a Mortal Kombat series
Right.
and give you some more money and everything."
Dude, like we were talking the other day, dude, I'd really like them to see. I'd really like to see them make another really good Alien movie, dude.
Hopefully
just
Prometheus 2 is gonna be coming.
Well, yeah, but dude, like a sequel.
I know,
to
I know.
Resurrection.
Well, I
dude.
feel like Prometheus 2 would be like a pretty much like an Alien movie though.
No, I agree. Dude.
I don't know what the fuck else they're
It
gonna do.
totally fucking is, dude.
Yeah,
like,
'cause
it's
it's like they
totally
leave
the
off
prequel,
the, like,
totally prequel to Alien, dude. I just watched Alien yesterday, so it's fresh in my
man.
mind. It's such a good fucking movie, dude.
It was really weird. I saw like, 'cause remember we were talking about Alien, and I saw they had it 7-Eleven. You know, they had like this just a regular disc for sale, no fucking cases. they had the Resurrection one, but it was the disc from my set. It was like disc 7 on it. It was so fucking weird. I was like, why would you just sell like
strange.
the ring? Don't you have the big box of that too?
Yeah, I got the quadrilogy.
Yeah, that one. Yeah, it was just disc 7 from that. I'm like, what the fuck?
I really liked Resurrection, dude. I thought it was a really good fucking Alien movie, so I want to see him continue on, dude.
Yeah, I'd like to see a continual one. I just hope they don't do like a reboot thing. That's kind of my biggest problem nowadays is reboots. It's one of those ones like, you know, for some things it's like, okay, it's been 30 plus years and who cares? That's fine. But a lot of times reboots, I always feel like the biggest slap in the face to fans. It's just kind of like, fuck you, we're starting over again. We want new audience.
You know, I like for some movies, I like the updated versions. You know.
Well, remakes are like, I don't mind a remake as much as a reboot.
Dude, dude, like, it'd be cool if they could remake Alien and Aliens, but dude, you just cannot emulate the acting, dude.
No. Well, the thing to do is, that's why I think it's just better. Just make another sequel. That's better. I know, like, do like Predators. I thought that was such a badass.
Throw Sigourney Weaver in it, all fucking old. She's still alive, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So, okay, fuck it. You throw in their old for panties on it. I don't fucking care. Battling aliens.
You know, and like, fuck, dude. But I mean, Prometheus is really fucking good.
Oh, I love that one so much.
Yeah,
dude.
I really liked it too.
Dude, the end with that fucking
and it was
giant ass face hugger was fucking awesome, dude.
One thing I'll say about Aliens is I really hope to God that Sega never produces another Alien game ever.
Dude, I hope that they do. They don't hype it up as much as they hyped up Colonial Marines do. Because I remember when I saw it, dude, I was like, oh my god, this looks like the greatest game I've ever fucking seen in my whole fucking life.
Well, you know why they hyped it though? Because they knew it was bad. So by hyping the fuck out of it, you'll at least make your money back.
They released it. I paid $64 for it, dude. It was fucking garbage.
They did what?
When they released it, you know, I bought it brand fucking new. Dude, it was fucking shit.
Well, I remember when people first did it, like, because like that, they were talking like, oh, this fucking sucks. And I was kind of doing that thing like, well, like, when critics say it, you're like, these guys are so picky anyways. And I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, when you play every game known to mankind, you just get picky. It's like
I did
when you watch
play
a lot
it,
of
dude,
movies.
and I did have some fun with it, dude. But dude, that's like a $15 game tops, dude.
Yeah.
When I bought it brand new.
When an alien charges you and the AI is so bad that it runs past you like 6 times and it doesn't see you, like, it's like, dude, the programmers
the graphics weren't even that
do
good,
anything
dude.
in
Like,
this game. Like, they do anything. Like, bug testing, anything in this game.
They have that new Alien game coming out, dude.
The
It's
Isolation
really
game.
fucking awesome. But so is Colonial Marines. I will never buy an Alien game brand new ever again.
Yeah, that's the kind of thing. Sometimes you're just better also than just waiting that 1 or 2
like
days.
The last
Because you really don't have to wait very long. I mean, there'll be a fucking review up the day after before the game even comes out, mostly.
The last AVP game was really good.
I like that one a lot.
But I mean, it's not worth $60.
Yeah, that was one of those games too. It's like I wouldn't say it's a $60 because you kind of beat it like in 10 hours.
Playing as the alien was so disorienting, dude, on a constant basis, dude.
You really want, the best part was just playing as a Marine. It's because it makes more logical sense.
Predator, dude.
Predator was cool too.
Playing as Predator, dude. It was just a little frustrating.
Yeah, I was saying the controls were a little bit frustrating,
The
but
game wasn't that smooth.
There was huge controversy in Alien Colonial Marine just for the lone fact that they did hype it up so much and so many people pre-ordered it. And like that,
people were suing. Actually,
I feel like you can't really sue on that because it's like that is. It's just like anything else, though.
You know why people were suing was because when they showed
different footage.
Yeah, they showed a clip of at E3 like a couple years earlier hyping it up, dude, and it was a game, dude. It wasn't part of. It's not part of the game at fucking all.
Yeah,
not even a little bit. The game looks nothing like the footage they showed.
Well, it's funny. Like I just like when you see stuff like that. It's sort of like I remember just reading the art or like the reviews on like when Dead Island came out. And people were so fucking pissed at that game because on the back of it, and they said that like, oh yeah, it's a co-op game. You can play it split screen. And then when people got the game, like there wasn't any of that. I mean, like you go to Amazon, there's just negative review where people are like, I was so fucking pissed. I took that game back and got my money back. I'm like, I'm not gonna fucking play it if you're gonna lie to me.
I am pretty mad, dude, because I did see that fucking trailer or preview or whatever when I was watching it.
And you're like, oh, I gotta get the fucking
I was like,
Alien.
I can't wait for that game to come out. And then it took forever for it to come out, and it came out and it was shit.
It's sad too. It's just like, you know, because that very rarely happens too. Like, you know, games don't usually like games used to be a safe thing too, where like mostly like if a game was being hyped generally, and if people give it a good review, it mostly always meant that like, well then it's all good, you know, because movies as well as one. Somebody could say this movie's 4 stars, somebody could say it's 1 star, and you can literally be anywhere in between.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Like I was saying, dude, I read movie critics all the time, dude, and they just trash movies on a constant basis. I go see the movie, and I'm like, that movie was fucking awesome.
Well, you know, I take somebody like Leonard Maltin, kind of like the biggest critic there probably is, at least one of them. And like I always like to get his fucking books and just flip through them and just look at what he kind of says, you know. And I don't think, I find movies that way and whatnot, but
You just gotta think critics are trying to be as harsh as possible.
yeah, well, sometimes I just feel like they have a bad day too, because there is 3 movies he has from the 80s that I call like 4 out of 4, pure perfect, I can't complain whatsoever movies, and he gives all these ones a 1.5 star out of 4, and it's Scarface, Roadhouse,
What?
and Blade Runner.
Good God.
All, and I'm just like, these 3 movies I think of like, these like definitive 80s movies.
Yeah.
I can't complain whatsoever. There's not a single thing about any of those movies I can complain. You know, I think Roadhouse is fucking amazing. Patrick Swayze, Blade Runner, Harrison Ford.
Yeah.
And then I top it off Scarface, like the legendary fucking Scarface. So I just kind of go like, no matter what, you know, you just gotta kind of take those and accept them and go.
Yeah.
Dude.
Yeah.
I don't know, dude. Speaking of old movies, dude, you know what was a really good prequel was the one to The Thing. The Thing.
Oh, I love that one.
That was a prequel, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it kind of explained a lot of
Yeah,
what
dude, I
happened.
know, like it. Yeah, dude, it was fucking awesome.
Explained about the Norwegians and all that
Did
stuff.
you ever see it? Have you ever seen The Thing, the original?
Oh, yeah.
John Carpenter.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Have you ever seen the original? The thing from another planet? Or from another world? Is it from the planet or world?
Dude, I think it's the world,
Yeah.
but
That one's actually pretty fucking scary.
dude, you cannot fucking beat Kurt fucking Russell, dude,
Oh,
in
no.
the original cast in The Thing, dude.
But I like the reason I like the Thing prequel because see, it's not a remake and it's not a reboot.
Yeah.
So what they're doing is just saying like, let's just fucking add to this story already, and I'm like, I'd rather have that. Even if the movie's not nearly as good, even though I think that Thing one's really good.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
I
mean,
mean, it was great, dude. It's
No,
not as
probably
good
about
as
the
first
only
one,
thing
but-
that kind of brings it a little bit down. I mean, I'm not complaining because this is just my technology. It's like it's all CG. Where like in the original one, I think what makes that one so creepy and stuff is
Dude, it
because
was
all the fucking
downright
special effects
fucking
are real.
scary,
It's
dude.
all real special
I
effects.
know, it's like, dude, it was fucking scary, dude.
You know what we
When
gotta
the
play
dogs get
again?
attacked, it was fucking scary.
We gotta play the Thing video
The
game.
Thing, yeah.
So whenever I look at that game, I always like, dude, me and RJ gotta sit down. And play
Dude,
this.
we
Have
used
you
to
ever
play
played
that so much, dude.
I've seen it. I can't say.
Dude,
I've
I thought
played
it was gonna be a horrible game because usually games based off of movies aren't really that great, dude. But that game was fucking awesome.
It's
dude.
so cool. It's so scary.
It's kind of
too.
like you're a team, dude. And you go in after the thing happened, dude. After like everything went down and everything.
So it's like it's the
dude.
third
You're
one,
like,
pretty
you're like
much.
investigating. You're like investigating and shit. But dude, it's so fucking hard.
Well, it was one of the first games I ever played too, where like you had team based, and you had to kind of take care of your team. You got to make sure they have guns. You got to make sure they have health, and they would start to like flip out.
Yeah,
too,
dude,
like,
you'll have like 4 guys.
They
dude,
start
and
shaking.
they'll,
They start shaking.
Yeah,
They're like,
dude,
the fuck, what's going
they
on?
could be infected, dude. So you got to go over. You got to like test them to make sure they're not.
Yeah, you can do
infected.
the blood test.
Or you can, or you have to like give them a pill or something. They'll like calm
What-
down or
what
whatever.
console?
It was on PS2 and Xbox.
Okay. Yeah, that's right.
But it was kind of like you go through the test and you're always like, oh fuck.
I know. It's
Fuck.
like, oh
And
my
next
god.
thing you know, you go to like test. And I'm like, okay,
And
I'll
then-
test RJ. Okay,
Oh,
he's totally fine. Then I go test Cameron. It's like he's not fine. He fucking freaks
Yeah,
out.
and the minute they fail the test, dude, they just change, dude.
Jesus.
It's fucking crazy shit, dude.
Oh, it's sweet.
Sometimes
It's,
you'll find like survivors, dude, and shit like that.
Yeah.
That just change, dude, after you've been.
it reminds me like
walking
Resident
around.
Evil mixed
you
with
have
Silent
it?
Hill. I have it on
You have
PS2.
it?
Dude,
I would love to see that.
Sometimes, dude, you just have to put them down, dude. Like
Yeah.
people, dude. Like if they're just wigging out, dude.
You
it's
fucking
like,
take him out.
fuck it, boom. Fuck you. I am gonna give you a chance to change.
It's a great game.
Dude, it was-
it's such a hidden gem game too.
Dude, I know, dude. Seriously, dude. Like no one I know has played it but us.
Because I was talking to Continue Cast, and they were talking about games they're gonna play. I'm like, dude, you guys should play the fucking Thing. And then they got back to me. They're like, yeah, we're thinking about doing it for Halloween. I'm like, fuck, I'll play it before you guys do.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll do that on our next podcast. We'll play the Thing since you haven't played that.
Okay.
We'll sit down
Okay.
together and fucking play it.
That sounds good. That sounds
Dude, I
real
would
good.
love to get my
I got the
hands
fucking. I got my component cables for PS2 that I just bought.
I would love to get my hands on that game and a controller, dude. Fuck, I haven't played that game for so long.
I know I haven't either. I played it like 4 or 5 years ago. I pulled it back out again.
What we should do is I got my little HD camcorder. We should do a video type podcast and have you sit down and have me and RJ be completely silent during this, but have you sit down and play that game that we've been talking about, that Outlast.
Oh yeah.
That'd be so fun.
Well, you know what you could do to set up, because I always thought this would be a better way to do like a Let's Play video, is you record the game, and you put that like in one section, and then on the other screen you put like everybody's face, so you can see them talk and react and whatnot. That'd be the better way to do it.
Outlast for
See, once again, this comes back to like doing videos where people look at the cameras. I'm like, it's still like Let's Plays. I'm like, I always look at them like they're so fucking simple. It's like, and like I'm like, before there was a YouTube, I was pretty much doing Let's Plays. The first videos I ever created were the ones that me and Cisco did, like that Mario or the Zelda files.
Yeah.
And I remember watching, I'm like, We were doing a Let's Play, but what we were doing too was we're making like Let's Play mixed with Saturday Night Live where we threw in little skits in betweens and whatnot.
Yeah.
And so I whenever I see that simple, it's like, it's so simple. I gotta make it complicated. I wish I could almost think more simple.
We need to get, do you have a capture card?
I have a really old one.
Okay.
What I used to do is you used to be able to plug in your fucking camcorder and you'd hit record and it would just record.
Like onto the camera?
Yeah, just record on the camera. And I can't get the fucking do that anymore. I don't know. My older camera could do it, but my new one just can't do that. I don't know what happened.
I'll have to get my hands on a capture card.
Yeah, because my capture card's like one for like a fucking Windows like XP.
Oh, yeah. Well, there might be drivers, though, maybe.
Yeah, I just, my computer's like, it has the smaller box, so it doesn't have like the, can't plug the giant one in.
Yeah.
But,
do you have a way to do...
It has like an S-video cable on it.
Well, do you have a way to upload that to your website? You can do videos and stuff like that? Or is that strictly all audio?
Well, because my
YouTube,
podcast,
obviously.
I put them on YouTube as well, because YouTube you can put as much stuff, so you can do it on there. I want to say you actually can put video up on Podomatic, but I'm not too sure. I'd probably just put the audio up on Podomatic just to keep it, so that, because you only get so much memory on there.
Yeah.
So if we're going to do that, we need to play some Resident Evil.
I know. But yeah, that's the way I thought. Is like, set up a camera. Because I've been kind of wanting to do like a live or like a podcast on video.
Yeah.
You know, I was just think, why not?
Yeah.
And someday I want to do a fucking live podcast. That I think would be really sweet.
Yeah.
We should try to get that going somewhere. I don't know who the fuck would like hire us. Like, you want to do what? Well, we do a live podcast. So you see, we'll get up on stage and we'll just fucking talk to each other. You want us to fucking pay you? You don't have to pay us. We'll just show up. You know.
Put it out there.
We'll just go to fucking Chuck E. Cheese. We're gonna sit on the stage with the rodents and just start talking.
God, Chuck E. Cheese, man. I went for my niece's 3rd birthday over there. Oh, man. I haven't been in one of those places in so long, and I feel so bad for the guy that actually has to dress up as Chucky. One of the little girls that was there.
Kick him the fucking balls.
Oh my god, dude! This little girl freaked out when he came out, dude. Like crying, so upset over this giant fucking mouse, dude. Like.
The last time I went to Chuck E. Cheese, I was like, I think it was my 21st birthday, and I was like, it was sort of kind of like, because we went to Red Lobster in Modesto, and it was like, it's right across the fucking street. Let's go to Chuck E. Cheese. Yeah. And I go inside, and it just wasn't nearly as cool as I remember. Like, I swear there wasn't that many arcades for one. It was like, there was a lot of like skee ball and stuff like that.
Type game.
And that's cool, don't get me wrong. But I remember like, the only real cool arcade game they had there was they had the Mario Kart one that was like the arcade version.
Yeah.
That's sweet, dude. That is fucking badass.
I mean, like, that's badass. I wish that came out when we were kids. But, you know, but I remember just looking, there was like, then you can see the stage where like the fucking mouses are up there and they play the songs and there's kind of like old and funky and run down.
Yeah.
But the one that bothers me nowadays, I was like, I'll see like a Chuck E. Cheese commercial come on, and they change the fucking mouse.
Yeah.
And that's just like, I don't like that new mouse. He's all skinny and he's got a guitar and he thinks he's cool. I like mine who kind of looks like he like fucking came out of a New Jersey pizza place. He's got a backwards cap on. You know, he got a fucking like basketball jersey or whatnot on.
Yeah. I mean, how many other like characters of like the honeybee from Cheerios, he's changed since we were kids too.
I know. I want to say the Chuck E. Cheese one though. I want to say that was the original design since Nolan Bushnell did it like in the 70s.
Yeah.
I want to say I could be totally that could be like the second incarnation. Yeah. But I mean that fucking Chuck E. Cheese was there since the 80s.
Yeah.
It was there for a long fucking time. I don't know. Have you ever watched have you ever sat down and watched like kids commercials though nowadays?
Yeah.
It's so weird how like fucking blitzkrieg these things are. I mean they're like they just must think that every child's like a meth baby.
Yeah.
Because I mean like there was this fucking Pac-Man show on Disney. I had no idea what the fuck was going on. I'm like, dude, I know what Pac-Man is. And it's like, I'm glad to see that there's a Pac-Man show. I'm glad to see that kids actually know what Pac-Man still is. But this thing went by so fast. It was just like he was fucking eating stuff and ghost guitar was like, blah, 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 blah. And it's just like, how the fuck am I supposed to pay attention to this? I don't know, man, I hope the show doesn't go that fast. But yeah, it was just like so fast. And I watched so many other like kids ads and they're like, extraordinary.
Just kids shows in general, man. You pop on Cartoon Network nowadays, it's like, what the fuck am I watching?
Well, like, you know, when we were sort of like in high school, they had Teen Titans.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen that fucking Teen Titans Go? That's like the Meth Kids version. It's same. It's apparently a continuation, except for they kind of kiddified it a little bit more.
Right.
But like it just goes like way faster.
Really?
And you know they're supposed to. You know it's got some funny stuff in it every once in a while, but it's still a kid show. But yeah, just some of that stuff just like...
I have a hard time watching it. Like, I just don't... I have no idea what the fuck's going on anymore.
You know what I was actually... I got this on Netflix the other day. I was watching fucking the original Space Ghost, the 60s one, the 66 show.
Mm-hmm.
And it's funny because I was watching this, and I just watched through the original Johnny Quest not too long ago. And I'm like, dude, Space Ghost, it's the same fucking voice actors and all of it. It's the same fucking soundtrack, same sound effects.
Yep.
You know?
Yep.
You know what I think? I think Space Ghost would make the sweetest live-action movie.
Probably, actually, yeah.
Like, think about it. Like, give her the fucking kids and the monkey. You don't need that. Or you can put them in there, but just you make them cooler. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But still, like, just have Space Ghost and he fucking battles Brack and Zorak and Moltar and all those guys. And you can make a sweet fucking movie out of that. Just make it real serious and stuff.
Yeah.
Make it like Man of Steel serious.
Did you see the
only
crossover of Aqua Teen Hunger Force and Space Ghost? Did you ever see that episode?
Was it like Space Ghost Coast to Coast style?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So funny, dude. Oh my god.
Well, that's the one thing. It's like because they made Space Ghost Coast to Coast, so now you have to kind of separate yourself sort of from that and bring Space Ghost back to being serious again. But I always think about them like, dude, if they're gonna make any superhero movie, make a fucking Space Ghost one.
Yeah.
You know. Next time I go fucking Comic-Con, I realize I'm fucking dressed up as Space Ghost because I didn't see a single Space Ghost.
I'm trying to remember. There's some kind of superhero movie coming out that's raccoon that.
The Guardian of the Galaxies?
Yeah, Guardian of the Galaxies.
That's one of those ones where it's like, I know sort of what that is. I'm like, I know what the characters are, and that's about as far as it goes. And I don't care. It's kind of one of those ones. It's cool to see they're gonna make something so obscure. So
like the Lego movie. Did you
watch the Lego movie?
I didn't see it.
Go fuck it. It's 4 out of 4 amazing.
Is it?
It is mind blowing. Like, I remember people kept going, like, that's a fucking kids movie. I'm like, fuck no, man. You gotta watch that movie. It is so fucking funny. Me and Dunnigan, we went to see it. We were fucking crying, laughing. It was that funny.
It was that good.
And then to top it off, I love how like you'll see stuff in the background. You're like, dude, that's fucking Legos from the '80s. And then like, oh my god, there's a fucking pirate set and the Adventures set. You would see all this stuff.
Was that movie stop motion?
I don't know if it was exactly. It was made to look like stop motion. I don't think it was actually stop motion.
Okay.
There's too much going on in it to be actual stop motion. But it looked like it was stop motion.
Really?
So I mean, as far as like filmmaking wise, it's worth seeing for just that. But it was so funny, and it had a great story. It had a great moral in it.
Really?
It was like, you know.
Like,
but
I
was laughing so hard.
I've been trying to see some kind of movie trailer that really is like I need to go see that, and I haven't seen.
Dude,
that.
when the Lego movie, I don't know if it came out on Blu-ray yet, but
That was like just in theaters, like not but a couple months ago.
It was in February.
Was it February?
So.
Yeah.
But then they come out so quick that's like it could be out next month. I would almost buy it on DVD day one.
Yeah.
I liked it that much.
I think really the only movie I want to see in theaters that's coming out anytime soon is the new Godzilla. Like that's
the movies. There's actually a couple I want to see. I really want to see the new Godzilla. I really want to see the X-Men Days of Future Past. And then
I haven't seen anything on that yet.
You haven't seen it? Oh, the new trailer. Because like, for a while they just had these trailers was just like, it's serious. It's time travel. And it just would show faces like, here's Hugh Jackman and here's Patrick Stewart. And it's just like, their faces are serious.
Yeah.
And this new trailer that came out when I went to go see... The fuck was the last movie I saw? Spider-Man, The Amazing Spider-Man 2. Mm-hmm. The new trailer they had all this fucking action in it. It looked badass. I was like, yeah, there we go.
Yeah, yeah.
The Amazing Spider-Man 2 is pretty good.
Really?
I'd probably say it's the best Spider-Man movie, or close to it.
Dude, I really want to see the new 300.
I know, I didn't see that one too. It's just somehow, some way.
Shit about that movie. I knew it came out, but I didn't hear nothing about it.
People told me that it was decent. Not the first one. I'm like, I already knew that. Good.
Yeah.
But they said it's just got good action, and that's about it. What were you expecting?
Yeah.
Are you an Arnold Schwarzenegger fan at all?
Somewhat.
Okay, because I'm like fucking humongous Arnold Schwarzenegger fan. Like anything Arnold, I'm fucking there.
Arnold, dude.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta go see Sabotage though. It was badass. It's already out of theaters, but when it comes out, fuck, I'll buy it. I buy Arnold Schwarzenegger movies day one. So
you gotta see Escape Plan.
Did you see that one yet?
Dude, Sylvester Stallone. Oh my god,
so
dude,
fucking good.
So fucking sweet.
Did you see the one that came out before that?
The Last Stand?
The Last Stand.
Arnold Schwarzenegger. Johnny Knoxville.
We got a good
fucking
fucking
movie. Dude.
I got all these movies. We got
that movie's so great, dude.
Because like anything Arnold Schwarzenegger, I'm fucking there.
Dude, I'm not just saying this, because I'm a huge Arnold fan and that's why, dude.
They're all badass
dude,
movies.
it is a badass fucking movie, dude.
Okay. But
I'm pretty stoked on the new Purge because I really like the last one.
Now the Purge, define that movie really again?
That's the one where for a night they make.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Crime legal.
I go for it. I remember when the first one came out, it had this really sweet concept because I think that's a sweet concept. But then I didn't see it. But people kind of said, like, they have this great concept, but then it kind of gets sort of like the movies get smaller and it's just kind of stuck to one house after a while and they just stay there.
Well, yeah. Yeah, but, dude, yeah, that is kind of...
Because it's with such a sweet concept, you wish you could just see all this stuff.
I mean, like, dude, it's like the story brings...
And I know that it was a low-budget movie, so I'm not going to complain too much there.
And, like, I really like Ethan Hawke, you know, so it's
he's a guy like Ethan.
I know, but, you know, it's like the story brings them to that house, so there's a reason why it ends up at that house, you know? And it's like, you just gotta watch the movie, dude. It's such a great film.
I gotta check it out.
It's all, you know, it's a kind of an unsettling thought, you know, that you can go. Because, like, the night before, you know, right at the beginning of the movie, Ethan Hawke's, like, out on his fucking porch drinking coffee, dude, and he's just watching everyone. They're all sharpening their machetes, getting ready for the night, and sharpening axes and shit. And it's just like, holy fuck, dude, that's fucking crazy.
Did you see the last Judge Dredd movie, just called Dredd?
Yeah, I did, actually.
That one was fucking awesome.
Dude, I thought it was pretty good, actually.
I love it. And that's those movies where it's like, it becomes a bottle film, and they're just trapped in that building, but I thought, like, that fucking worked for that.
I know, dude. The only thing I didn't dig really was the main villain, the chick. Yeah. She's in another fucking movie, dude. She's in, like, Troy, actually, the movie Troy and shit like that.
Dude, Troy's like, I always feel like that's another one.
No, she's in 300. That's what she's in.
Oh, okay. Well, Troy's a 4 out of 4 movie, too, that you just can't fucking
She's
play.
the wife in 300, but... No, dude, I don't know, dude. Dredd was good, dude. I mean, it's not, you know, the original.
I like it more than the original, too, even though I like...
I'll
defend the original. I know, like, a lot of people don't like that original one, but I'm like, you know, pick up a comic right from around that time, Judge Dredd. It still captures a lot of that stuff.
You can't beat the actor, dude.
No. And even though I will say that, what the fuck's the guy's name? The guy that plays Bones in Star Trek. Which seems like a strange... When I first heard that, I was like, Bones from Star Trek? But you put the helmet on, I was like, oh, he's got the chin. But I really hope that they do get together and try to make another Dredd, because I know that didn't do amazing. I heard it did way better in, like, Europe and stuff, because obviously it's a British comic, but...
I really want to see the new RoboCop, too, but I never got around to it.
You didn't go see that one, too? Oh, it was fucking awesome.
That's what I heard.
When that comes out, too, oh, yeah. I mean, it wasn't rated R. That was about the only thing it kind of lost. Sometimes... So you don't get the good gore, because that first RoboCop has such good violence. But they do a great job on the story. It's still got good action in it.
Did you see the new Total Recall? Mm-hmm. I didn't, but...
I did.
I heard it's not a remake. You know, I heard it wasn't a remake, really, but...
Well, it is, because it's the same story, but... You know, like in the Arnold Schwarzenegger Total Recall, how there's sort of these kind of twists and turns, and you're not too sure if it's real, or if it's not, or if it's in his head, and there's all this stuff, and then every once in a while he fucking turns it back on you again, so you just keep thinking different directions. This one felt a little bit more straightforward. You kind of like, oh, okay. But I'll say this, it's worth watching. It is definitely not the Arnold Schwarzenegger one, which...
Yeah, dude, I mean, Colin Farrell's no...
Total Recall, that movie, I always say, like, my top 3 favorite movies of all time is, like, Jurassic Park, Total Recall, and... I'm drawing a blank on what the other one is. I'll keep the other one open just in case.
Jurassic World. That is a movie I'm fucking excited about.
I'm going to be there so fast.
When is that coming out?
Next year.
Okay, so
I think it's summer next year.
It's going to be so fucking great, dude. Next year's going to be a great year for movies because Star Wars Episode 7 comes out next year, too. Supposedly. I think at the end of 2015. Supposedly.
Dude, you know what's the other
side,
though?
It's Disney, dude. Dude, I'm hoping...
They'll do it right. I know, there's no
See,
doubt
I'm not a big
right,
Disney fan, but at least somebody's putting money into Star Wars.
J.J. Abrams,
J.J.
dude.
Abrams, right, yeah.
And I like the last 2 Star Treks. But, I'm impressed because I see that there's this new Star Wars show coming out called, like, Rebels of some sort or whatever. I saw a commercial for it on Disney. It looks pretty sweet.
Did you ever see the animated...
The Clone Wars one?
Dude,
Yeah,
that
dude.
went on for like 6 seasons.
I heard they're hella fucking good, dude.
I know people, like, someday I gotta sit down and get into them.
I heard that, like, they look lame, but, dude, I heard
It's
that
CG,
they're
but, like...
pretty fucking good, actually.
I've started, because, like, for a while I had a hard time watching CG shows, but I started watching, there's Batman, there's Beware the Batman, that was all CG, and the Green Lantern show was all CG, so by now I'm kind of used to the CG look. And those shows did a really good job, so I'm kind of up to, like, oh, okay. Well, there's a Star Wars, it's Rebel something or another, but the CG, instead of kind of looking kind of cartoony like that one does, it looks, you know, I mean, you can still tell it's CG, it doesn't look like realistic, but it looks a little bit more adult-like, let's just say that. It looked pretty sweet. I fucking saw the trailer or the commercials for it on... I was fucking watching Disney XD or whatever.
I know, dude. The only thing that turns me off about the Clone Wars one is how cartoony everything
It's a little too cartoony.
I know. So it's like... But...
I mean, like, I'll put up with that because, you know, I don't know. Most of that's the main thing I watch. If I watch a TV show, I just watch cartoons. You know, mostly, you know, anywhere from adult cartoons or...
What is cartoons nowadays, though? Because, like, Family Guy... Can you really consider
Well,
that
I still
a
consider
cartoon?
it pretty much. If
I
it's,
mean, it is
if
because
it's
it's a
animated.
drawing, it's animated,
but-
yeah, but...
I'll say this: Family Guy, Simpsons, King of the Hill. I call that like cartoon sitcoms. South Park.
like-
They're still sitcoms.
Like cartoons, makes me think of like kids shows.
yeah,
like, kids.
and I guess it's like in a sense because generally, mostly, if you want to say it in like a more proper way, like I watch animation.
like Looney Tunes. Looney Tunes is a
Yeah.
cartoon, So
But no,
it's
what
like-
I watch a lot of is they had the new Batman movie came out. It's called Son of Batman, and the DC's been doing a lot of these great shows where they do these movies and they come out every about 3 to 4 months or so, and they're borderline R-rated stuff. So they tell a real fucking serious story. They mostly just take it from a comic book and just adapt it to animation. But it's not like it's for kids. I mean, there's violence. You get the blood. There's language and everything and adult themes. It sounds kind of weird. If you feel like you're like a kid, like 12 years old, trying to sell an anime to like your parents, you're like, Dad, like it's so cool because there's violence in it and there's like language and there's boobies.
Dude, I remember.
And you're thinking that's what makes things adult.
Not to derail this conversation we're having here, I just remembered about.
I fucking hate animation. Pushes the microphone over. Fucking faggots.
No.
Stand up so I can kick you in the nuts.
Did you guys play Unreal Tournament?
I played the original one.
Okay. Epic announced that they're working on a new Unreal Tournament. It's been literally about a decade since the last.
Was the last one
game.
4?
Unreal Tournament 3.
Dude, I remember I used to watch...
I thought there was a 4th one for Xbox 360.
There was Unreal Tournament, then there was the Unreal Championships.
Maybe that's what I'm thinking of.
And then Unreal Tournament 2004, Unreal Tournament 3.
Dude, I used to watch the tournaments they had.
Well, because Unreal
like,
Tournament 3, that was not the one on Dreamcast?
No, that was 360, PS3.
I want to say Unreal. I thought, or maybe just
Maybe
Unreal
you're thinking
3.
Unreal.
That's what
Because
I'm thinking.
there's Unreal and then Unreal 2, Unreal Tournament,
Okay,
Unreal
that's what I'm thinking.
Championship.
Maybe that's what's throwing me off.
So, anyways, Epic announced that
Is that all the
they're-
same game really quickly? I just want to clear this up. Unreal and Unreal Tournament's the same game, right?
No.
It's not?
No. Unreal is more your... It kind
Isn't
of
that like
plays
id Software?
Turok, like almost. No, this is Epic.
Oh.
So,
No, but does id Software do Unreal then? Because
they do Doom.
well, yeah, I know they do Doom and Wolfenstein, but did they make Unreal then?
I don't think so. I think that was all Epic.
No, you said Unreal Tournament. So is Unreal...
The actual Unreal game.
So Unreal and Unreal Tournament's the same company, is that...
I think so.
Okay, that's what I thought.
So anyway, so
That's not really
Epic just
fucking confusing.
announced, I believe this was last week, that they're working on a new Unreal game. Essentially, what they're going to do is instead of pumping a bunch of money into development themselves, they're hiring on modders, they're hiring on people that already own the Unreal Engine 4 engine, and all their top senior advisors from Epic are going to be building this game. It's going to be a free-to-play game. And it's not that free-to-play model.
Not that free to play, like you kill somebody, it's like, okay, now give us $5.
This is.
If you want that
Four
kill to go up on
gamers.
your leaderboard, give me
Four
$1.
gamers. Let's see here if I can pull a quote. Hold on one sec.
By the way, I resent your Call of
Okay.
Duty post the other day.
Okay. From Epic. A lot of this brand is new for Epic, and we don't yet have everything figured out. Things will probably definitely go wrong from time to time, Epic continues. But if you're a fan of Unreal Tournament, a UE4 or Unreal Engine 4 developer or future modder, or if you just want to learn how we make games, we'll hope you join us. That's basically just talking about how they want all these different types of people to come into their game and build this game free for gamers.
That's a
by the
sweet
gamers.
idea.
Awesome, dude. Awesome. I haven't heard of Unreal Tournament in so long, or anybody that plays Unreal Tournament in so long.
I got something that goes along with that. I think I told this to RJ, but there's a company. I don't think it's the actual guys. It's not Free Radical, but the guys did Time Split. There's a Time Splitters coming out for PS4 and Xbox One and PC. I think it's I wrote it down, but my phone crapped out, so I don't have any of this information. But I want to say it's called Time Splitters Rebirth or Revival or something like that. And I think what they're doing is they're doing the multiplayer only. I couldn't find a ton of information on this, but yeah, it's like they're just trying to bring Time Splitters back and bring back the multiplayer and whatnot. I hope they put a story in there because that's what I fucking like about Time Splitters. But the multiplayer is fucking amazing, and nobody's been able to, in my opinion, nobody's been able to capture that good a multiplayer since Time Splitters 2 and 3. So they're doing that, and they have fucking jobs available. I wasn't qualified for any of this. I didn't even apply, and they even said if you don't fucking qualify for these, don't. They didn't say fucking, but they said don't try to fucking apply, and don't give me that bullshit thing Sometimes as I play at video game jobs, I'm like, I do a lot of video. Can I come in and hang out? It's like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Think about it. I get that one once or two where you're like, oh, you got a good resume there. Not good enough for you.
Yep.
Nothing really for here. Oh, thanks. Did you ever check out Drunk Batman? Did you make the views go up at least?
Yeah, seriously. Jesus Christ.
If I can get my views to go up, that's all I care about.
I don't know, I'm glad that developers are more moving into their communities, you know, and like especially for Epic, a company as huge as Epic is to step out there and be like, listen, gamers, we know you want this game. Help us make it, you know.
Yeah,
we'll turn it into your game, not what we produce, you know, because I'm sure that they're just tired of all these shitty fucking reviews from people, you know, saying the game could have been this, could have been that.
Well, one of the worst complaints I have is when people start, like, I heard this complaint once, and I think I said on the podcast before, but so we had a friend once that was like, he was like, well, you know, Assassin's Creed is okay, but, you know, really what it should have been is you should have been this guy who got, like, an entire armory together, and you were leading them into battle, and it's sort of like, well, what you wanted was a whole different game. That's not a complaint.
Yeah.
That's just, you didn't get the game you wanted.
Yeah.
And, like, I hear that a lot where people, they complain about things that's just like, you want a different game. That's not a logical complaint.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's kind of where I've stepped into a game or two, is that a lot of, how do I describe this? More like, I'll play a game, for example, like Dark Souls, for example. And there's going to be a lot of people that fucking give you shit over hating on Dark Souls. It's not
Does
that
that game have a lot of hate on
it? Yeah, it does, but it also has a lot of fucking good reviews. A lot of people love that game.
Because it got fucking game of the month or whatever.
Yeah, the thing that I've stepped to in as a gamer is that it's not so much that I'll hate a game and I won't like promote my view on that saying I hate this game so you should hate this game too. It's more as I didn't enjoy the game, but I don't want to repress you from like trying it, you know, and at least like I'll give my opinion, like I'll state, you know, things all day. But there's a lot of people out there right now that are just like, this game sucks for this, and this, you know, don't fucking play this.
And it's that thing of like, you know, sort of bothers me. It's like, the older I get, it's like, I just don't like negativity.
Yeah.
Like, it just, I like with movies too, like, I just become very open. Like, to movies, I just go like, you know, I'm always like, I never really complain too much about a movie. Every once in a while, I'll get a movie like Wreck-It Ralph that I just get fucking pissed. And, and I always say in life, there's always going to be a handful of things you just don't like. And you almost don't even need the biggest reason to say you just don't like it. No matter what, something's just going to make you really angry.
Yeah.
You know, but I almost come to this most optimistic thing. Like, if I don't like a movie, I just go, it wasn't for me.
Yeah.
Somebody else might like it. It just wasn't my type of movie.
Not my cup of tea.
Exactly. And it's just one of those ones like, why get fucking like negative about it? You know what I mean? Like,
There's no
it's
point.
like old people that sit around and talk about politics. And I always just do that. It's like, if you're going to sit around for 2 hours bitching and complaining about this stuff, then go fucking do something about it. If you're not going to do anything about it, then don't worry so much. Because it only gets done one way. It's you have to do it.
Yeah.
And it's like with movies too. It's like, if you're going to bitch, or video games, you're going to bitch and complain, go make your own fucking game and see if you can make it better.
Yeah.
If you could do that, then I'll take your complaints legitimately.
Yep.
But then I always kind of say this too. I'm like, you know, you don't see Steven Spielberg out there fucking bitching and complaining about movies.
Yeah.
You know, you never see any of the greats doing that.
I mean, granted, there are bad games out there, dude. We just talked about one being Alien, Colonial Marines.
Yeah, I know, no
just
matter what,
bad
there's going to
games.
be something just kind of garbage, you know.
But I'm sure there's gamers out there that really fucking like that game,
No,
regardless of all of its flaws.
Well, you know, I could probably see it. Once again, I've never played Alien Colonial Marines, but say if you're like 6 years old, I don't know why 6-year-olds picking up that game, but you know, I always think about sometimes it's kind of flawed games. Like when you're really young, you might really enjoy it. Or no, I was talking to somebody else about this. But did you ever play Episode 1 Star Wars for PlayStation? Not the PC version, because the PC version's like the
Probably.
and the PC one they fix all the flaws, but Episode 1 has so many glitches in it, but it almost makes it better that way because it makes it so fucking funny.
Yeah.
For a lot of things that go on in that game. And then, like, so there's sometimes there's like, you know, that's almost like it's so bad it's good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Dude, you know what game is rough going back and playing is Jedi Power Battles, dude.
No, you gotta come over and play it on Dreamcast, though. Like, the PlayStation version's hard to go back
Dude,
to.
it's hard. It's rough going back to the PlayStation Jedi Power Battles.
I used to think that, too, and then I picked up a copy of the Dreamcast one not too long ago, and it's like, oh, the Dreamcast one's so smooth. You know, nobody's come over to my house and sat down long enough to beat it with me. Like, we always get like 5 levels into it, and then like they get bored.
Dude.
But no, dude, the Dreamcast one, I like when I play, I forget all those things of like when I used to go, oh, the PlayStation one didn't hold up. This one holds up well.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a great one. But yeah, some games just don't hold up though too. But then again, I talk to a lot of people too, and they'll go like, oh, this game doesn't hold up or that game doesn't hold up. I'm like, when I go back to certain games, a lot of times, like, for the time that they're made, it's like almost like in the perimeters that they have, they work. Mm-hmm. There is a few games you go back and it's like, well, yeah, this is really slow, but...
Yeah.
Or like, have you ever played a fucking TurboGrafx 16? Like, I only played a little bit of one throughout the years, and like, I downloaded this, like, the complete, like, ROM selection of it, and I was just flipping through a lot of these games, and there's mostly all of three types of games. It's either, it's a side-scroller beat-em-up, it's an aerial fighters, like, shooter game. I mean, they got some weird fucking games in there, too. There's one game, I can't remember what it's called, it was like called like Toilet Boys or something like that, and it was like this Japanese game, and this kid starts off in the very beginning animation, and he's going to use the fucking toilet. You're like, the fuck is going on? He sits down on the toilet, and then he gets up, and he's like, the water shoots him up, and then sucks him into the toilet, and then you're playing like an aerial fighters game, so it's like, am I flying around the toilet shooting shit? Literally shooting shit.
Oh no.
There was a game that was a rip-off of Street Fighter on there. It was called Strip Fighter 2, where he just plays a bunch of like these like designed strippers. That's one of those systems that's like, and I see a lot of like big followers for it, like on Twitter and whatnot. But it does have a lot of fucking just weird ass games on there, like, and they're like this kind of games like they really don't hold up super well because they're like this in between of like the graphics they're better than a regular Nintendo, but they're pretty much all kind of regular Nintendo games anyways. And even regular Nintendo, I will say that like, I like regular Nintendo. I've always been it's Genesis and Super Nintendo are like my systems, because on the old Nintendo, I can go back and play some games, but there's some games like, and I mean like literally sitting down, legitimately playing it from beginning to end. I don't know if I can do that on a lot of those.
Yeah.
I mean, like I like my Ninja Gaiden. I like, I'll go back and play Metroid or Mario or any of those and Castlevania, but yeah, a lot of them I'm not too sure. Or like I look at Game Boy games. Game Boy's that like the old Game Boy before, not even Game Boy Color, just Game Boy.
Yeah.
How many of those games can you legitimately sit down and go, okay, I'm gonna fucking beat this? I mean, other than maybe Zelda games or the Mario games, it's just one of those ones. Those are the ones they're just too old.
They're grinds, man. You feel like you're grinding.
Dude, I really want to replay the original Batman I had for Game Boy. The original Game Boy.
I played that not too long ago.
Dude, I haven't played that game for so fucking long.
Speaking of Batman, though, I played the TurboGrafx 16 Batman game was fucking weird. I played like Bomberman. It was this top-down game. It was for the 1989 Tim Burton one. And you'd walk by and like it was just like these thugs just going up and down, and then you have to collect shit along the whole way, which I couldn't tell what you had to collect. I just collected all, and then you beat the level. And you'd have to throw out batarangs and whatnot, and you got power-ups and stuff. But it played like Bomberman. It was really fucking weird. Yeah, I was like, this is strange.
God, Bomberman.
That was a great multiplayer game.
Non-stop.
There was a time when I played so much Bomberman, but like I really haven't played it in a long time. But I think the main ingredient that's missing is just having multiple players to play it with. Yeah. Like, I got fucking the Bomberman games for, like, I got Bomberman World for PlayStation. I got the fucking multi-tap that goes with it, too. Really? We should whip that out and play some of that.
I have a multi-tap. I don't think I have a PlayStation anymore, though.
I got, like, 4 of them.
It's like the same thing. I have Xbox, GameCube, and PS2, but I have no cords for any of them.
Really?
Yeah.
Man, I got I got the original PlayStation, the one where you can pull the backs off of it and plug in, like, Game Shark and stuff. I got the PlayStation Model 2. I got a PS1. Yeah. I want to say I also have another one. Some of these systems, I don't know why, I just have a bunch of multiple copies of them over the years.
You just gain them.
Yeah, you just kind of get them and people get rid of them, or I buy them for like $5. Mm-hmm. It's like I got a couple Dreamcasts, and it's like Dreamcast always burns out, but it's like I want to make sure I back up Dreamcast.
I have a Dreamcast too somewhere. I think it's at my grandparents' house, but literally the only games I had for it was like a Madden game and Crazy
Was it
Taxi.
NFL 2K1?
Probably.
Dude, we used to play so much fucking NFL 2K1 and NBA 2K1.
Fucking love those games, dude. Dude, the only games I have for Dreamcast, I have like Mortal Kombat Gold.
I love Mortal Kombat Gold.
I've got Crazy Taxi, Dead or Alive 2.
Mm-hmm. I got so many. I got like 80 Dreamcast games.
Really?
I'm not. I got a lot of good games for there. That system's a good one. It's a good one if you got a bunch of people over or whatnot or stuff, because it's a good multiplayer system.
Dude, best cheat ever for Mortal Kombat Gold is easy fatalities.
Like, they just press an X or
Y. Best
Y.
fucking cheat ever.
Then you can see them all without having to figure them all out.
I know, and accidentally not being able to do it.
Yeah, we're going to have to look it up online and go, okay, up, down, left, right.
We should pre-show.
Yeah. Well, that looks like a good place to leave off at. Make sure to check out oldmanorange.com. And until then, I'm Spencer Scott Holmes.
I'm Cameron.
And RJ.
We'll see you some other time. Thanks for listening to the Old Man Orange podcast. Check out our website at oldmanorange.com for even more podcasts, cartoons, videos, music, and more. Send us an email at oldmanorangepodcast@yahoo.com. Be sure to subscribe, share, rate, and review us on iTunes, Podomatic, or any of the other fine sites we might be located on. If you want to help out even more, click on the Amazon or GameStop links on our webpage before you make any purchases there. It won't cost you a penny, but it sends us a little something our way. Thanks again, and tune in next week for more Old Man Orange Podcast.